I tell you, lucky. Where's the vibes? Big school in the background, big school. This was actually my secondary school. This is the secondary school that I went. Some of you all would recognize it by this logo here. And comment the official colors here as well. A kind of purple maroon colors. Lock in, press like one time if you're watching this in the future. That's always pay for lessons on YouTube, to be honest. You press like, right? So press like and let me get started. Let me get started with this thing. So tomorrow we have some big exams. We have POA. All ready for POA? POA is gonna be coming in at full 100 tomorrow. And then I think is POA every single day. Is you have a next POA exam the following day, something like that. Something like that. You all hearing me loud and clear? Yeah, boy, I had to take a little haircut. They was getting real out of hand. If you watch it yesterday, live, it was getting out of hand. Can't be coming in graphy soon on the people them playlist. So you know the drill. We're going to start in a couple minutes. We're just giving people a little time to touch down. Some people get the notification late. If you subscribe to the channel, you're supposed to get a notification that I go live, or you could click to get notifications around exam time. So what else? What else can I say? Oh, I have something to show you all. I have something to show you all. Watch this. Just before I came on live, one of the teachers posted this. So here it is. Not this. This is what we're doing today. Not this. Not this. This. So CXE has been made aware of information being circulated on social media which suggests that an examination paper has been leaked. CXE copyright, which is to advise candidates that this is a hoax. CXE copyright frowns upon attempts by a person to spread false information and create panic for candidates preparing for examination. So that was CXE. CXE would have done whatever investigation, maybe. And so they say that it's a hoax, right? So based on what I was watching too, it looked like doctored photos, so it didn't look too legit. You know when it legit. When it legit, all you would see the questions showing up in all your WhatsApp group, like last year. Last year questions were just flying left, right, and center. So it seems like this is a hoax, not to be trusted. No leak. No leak, right? No leak. No leak paper ones, no leak paper twos. In other news, we have POA coming up. Big exam tomorrow. A lot of you all will be doing POA. Shout out to the business students. What I did is, if you're still on TikTok, I know some of you all would have deleted TikTok because you know you had a lock in. But if you're still on TikTok, I put the updates there, the daily updates. Maybe I could post it on YouTube too for those who delete social media to lock in. So I post some daily updates there and watch what is coming up. I'll try and do that every day. So all right, you ready now? What is the time? 7:03. So today's topic is the beautiful topic of, what is today's topic? The beautiful topic of statistics. Statistics is a surprisingly large topic. There's a lot going on here. And one of the key things that CXE, some of the things that CXE has been, loving for these last few years, loving it, is pie charts. Of course, we have cumulative frequency. And group data. Tables, mean of group data as well. CXE has been loving these topics, loving them. They've been loving these topics. And of course, they will always throw in a little probability at the end. That's just a must. They must throw in a little 1 mark, 2 marks in probability at the end. So this has been their most loved topic in statistics for a very long time. And inside of this, they will test you on things like quartiles, quartiles and IQRs and just understanding the graph of cumulative frequency. These days they test cumulative frequency so much they don't bring it straightforward again. When last we see a straightforward cumulative frequency question is bring the question upside down, backwards, all kind of different ways they want to bring this question. Of course, they will test you on mean in this or the average. So we're gonna see how much of that we can get done today, how much statistics we can get in, as well as I drank some coffee because today is going to be a long night. I don't know how many of you are doing physics or how many people I may have in the physics live. Hopefully I have more than 20. Physics people, they better have more than 20 on the inside. So 9 p.m. that's going to be a little late, but we're going to study atomic physics, which is radioactivity really, and E equal mc squared. So equal mc squared and radioactivity is the two main ideas that's tested there. You have some theory and you have some questions. But I sure the maths people don't even want to see this, so take this off the board. Today is maths. Right now is maths, forget them physics people. So let's just jump into it, right? I come in physics for sure. Yes, so we are. It's more than 20 earlier, right? We inside for the physics. So we there for the physics, 9 p.m., right? A little set me up and have me alone, me and one person, me and Somali here alone. Me and Somali here alone studying physics in the next 2 hours. So, okay, let's go. So, what we start off with, this is January, as we always start off with the January 2024 question. I don't know if you notice for each topic, we start off and see what they bring in January. That's earlier this year. And what they brought was a kind of group data thing again. What do you call these things? What do you call these individual things? What do you call these individual things? What's this? What's this number here? What's that number called? What is this? So they're really trying to bring it inside out. This time they're using inequalities, which is something that they're using inequalities, but more unorthodox. They're using the exact class boundaries here. There's a difference between class limits and class boundaries. So you could go and research my statistics video and you'll see. You know this is a class boundary because 3.5 is being repeated on both here and there. So that's the actual class boundary. So they bypass the class limit and just use the class boundaries. And each one of these is called a class interval. Class interval. So this is like the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary. So usually what happens is that when you get the table, you get something like 10 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25. And what you notice here, what you notice about this number and that number is not the same. So when you see the numbers not the same like that, you know you're dealing with class limits. That's not the actual boundary. And if you want to find the boundary, you need to find in between the limits. So the class boundary would be like 15.5. So there's some skill with understanding the difference between class boundaries and class limits. And the reason why I need to know the skill is because things like cumulative frequency are plotted using the upper class boundary. Got that? Things like cumulative frequency, things like histograms are plotted using the boundaries once again. What is plotted using the midpoint, the class midpoint, is something called a frequency polygon. So a frequency polygon is plotted using the class midpoint. So we'll see how much of that we can discover in the questions that we do. So this data is also what we call continuous data. Continuous data can be measured. So you'll see things like kilograms, time, length, heights, in this interval here. It's mass of babies, and you notice it's kind of bunched up towards the center here. Most of the babies are between this weight. These are the outliers. So some babies are really light, some babies are really heavy. Them was drinking and eating on everything in the womb. Well, not drinking, but whatever. They're not biology class, right? So they was eating in the womb. So state the modal class is the first go. What's the modal class? State the modal class. That's the first question. So that 3 marks there, you're supposed to collect that. The modal class. So mode means the word to replace mode is most frequent or most occurring. The phrase that replaces mode and that will be here, right? That guy is the biggest number. So the modal class is not 30. You want to actually write 4.4 and make sure you write everything as is there. You could even throw in a little kilograms here and there. You could put in a little kilograms there and kilograms there to make the thing look sweet. That's the modal class. They just wanted us to state it. No explanation needed. You just needed to state the answer. Only press like on the people's stream, please. Press like upon the stream. Complete the table below and calculate an estimate of the mean mass. So, as I said, this is being really pound. They're real pong in this, like they're going all out on the mean of group data. They love it. So if you have to find the mean of what I mean with group data, this is like what CXC considers on group data. So if I give you like 3, 5, 4, 4, 6, and I ask you to find the mean of this, what would you do? You would add up everything. So you get 22. And then you would divide by the frequency 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like make a next number, like throwing 2 as well. So when I add up all of this, I should get 24, hopefully. 1, 2, 5, right, 24, and there are 6 numbers now. So 6 will go into that. So the mean is 4. And everybody know about that. Everybody know about that. You get the sum, you divide by sometimes called the frequency in this case, or the number of items is a better thing. And because this is really the sum of f, but yeah, so everybody know this, right? Everybody know this is the old-fashioned way of finding mean average if you have raw ungrouped data. So the idea with group data, and I want you all to pay special attention to this. I'm going to go down in the nitty-gritty here. We're going down in the trenches. We're going down in the trenches. If you never understand this, you're about to understand this today. So the thing with group data, let's do slightly group data first to show you the idea that I'm going to bring out here, right? Let's say I have 3, and I'll put the numbers that I repeat like this: 6, 6, 9. We're not playing next 6 day earlier. We're going to jinx the exam like that. Come on, man. Come on. And all right, so let's say these are the numbers we want to find the average of. We want to find the mean of. I still need to add up all the numbers, right? Add up all them numbers and see what you get. 10, 20, so cumbersome, 13, 46, 54, 64. Hopefully we get 64. See if I get 64 there. And then I divide by how much numbers I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 64 divided by 10. And I'm asking for the mode, asking for the mean earlier. 64 and earlier add up all the numbers. 64 divided by 10, 6.4. 6.4 something reasonable, why? Yeah, 6.4 something like a plan. All right, so I don't know if that's correct or not. I kind of speak to it, right? So 6.4. Now, understand that I add up each separately. But I could have done something like this. Let's pretend this is all in a table, right? I want you all to pay special attention. I could have said there are 2 3s. There are 2 6s. You understand what I'm doing here? There are 4 7s. There's an 8 or 1 8. I'm multiplying by its frequency. And there's 1 10. So in other words, there's a 6, a 12, a 28, a 8, and a 10. And hopefully when you add up all of that, you get 64 again. That making sense? So it's like I'm multiplying each one by the frequency it have. So in group data, you have something similar to that going on now. Pay attention. I tell you, we're in the trenches here. Pay attention. You're going to understand something that might blow your mind. So we have the interval here. We have something called F, what F stand for. And let me just make up some numbers here. Let me say we're going from 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and we're going to stop right there. So, right? And let's say 41 to 50. They just, that piece was bothering me. So let me put in some numbers, like there's 2 of this, and there was 3 of this, and then there's 5 of you, and then there's 11 of you, and then there was like 6 of you. What does this mean? if this is like ages or something, or height or whatever they're feeling to put there. This means we have 2 because this F stands for frequency. You're also correct. This means we have, is that an admin messaging you? No, it's not. Back to reality. So we have two numbers that exist between 1 and 10. What do you think them two numbers could be? It could be a 4 and a 6. It could be a 1 and a 10. It could even be a 0.5 and a 10.4 because the actual limit this could go up to, excuse me, is 10.5. It can't be 10.5, but anything before 10.5 could work. That's called the class boundaries between 10 and 11. So what are you thinking? What these two numbers could be? How we, because remember, I need to multiply them, whatever number it is, by 2. So here's what we do. It is a clever thing that we're going to do. I find it clever. So let me put a X here, and I'll put a little hat on the X. That's not a hat. If you put a hat on the X, it look like this. It's called an X hat. So if I put this line, that looks like a bar to me. So let's call that X bar. And yeah, that is literally what we call it in maths. Don't you love mathematics? X bar. But X bar just means like the mean. So what do you think is like the average of this? What do you think is like the middle? The middle of that is like probably 5. Well, it's not actually 5. The middle is found by adding this and this and dividing by 2. The middle is actually 5.5, but 5 is a good guess. It's 5.5. And then we have 15.5 similarly if I find the middle. And we have 20. All you must be done smelling what I'm going to do already. You're smelling it. If you could sense it, say you could sense it. You see what's going to happen here? Or you see what's about to happen here? So here is my assumption. Since I don't know what the actual numbers are, if I ask to find the mean of this, some of you might think I need to add up this and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the most common mistake. That's the most common mistake. You must feel sick if you see that now. If you made that mistake in your life, just feel sick when you see somebody do that. The most common mistake is to add this up and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I tell you find the mean, this wasn't here before, people is add this up and say, aha, sum, total, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big mistake, partner. Big mistake. You ain't looking good out there in the examination streets. Because that is not what it means. This means you have two numbers that exist between 1 and 10. The number could be anything. So what we're going to tell them is the best thing I could tell you, Mr. Examiner, sir, Miss Examiner, ma'am, is that on average, the number is about 5.5. So there's approximately two numbers on average 5.5. So I'm going to write fx here. This is not f of x, people. We was doing f of x yesterday. This is just literally fx. So there are two numbers that are about 5.5. 2 times 5.5 is 11. There are 6 numbers that are about 15.5. You all understand what I'm doing? So it's like I'm doing the same thing here when I'm saying there are two numbers that are 3. 2 3s are 6. And then I'm going to add it up this way. Oh, no. I was on a flow there, boy. Please tell me it's safe. Nice. So 6 times 15.5 is how much, Alia? You really feeling to go through all of that day times 6 is 93. 93. So wait now, my pen stop working too. 93. Did the first day get no problems to start the life? Like every day it was some kind of problems. Like finally they give up. You see how you must be persistent? You start to try this, you try to start, you start to try, you try to start studying, and all of a sudden, once that random thing stopping you from studying, boy, 280.5, all you know how to do the thing, 5 by 35.5, you get 177.5. All you stay focused, you stay lucky. Remember, what's the final goal in this? What is we are trying to do here? You get lost. You get lost in all the calculation. What is we are trying to do here? We're trying to find the mean. So I'm saying on average, there's about 3 numbers that are about 45.5, 5 numbers that are about this. So if I add up all the numbers that I have at this, and then I add up all of this, well, there's a symbol in maths we use for adding up, for finding the sum. This symbol is a weird looking E, sigma. So the sum of fx, the sum of all of this, and I just threw down that. Somebody work it out for me now, because we really feeling to do that. And the sum of the frequency tells us how many numbers we have. Because remember, at the end of the day, for mean, when we're trying to work out mean, we need a sum of everything, and we need to divide by how many items, which is aka the sum of all the frequencies. Remember I told you that just now? So the total sum, somebody telling me it turning out to be something like a 698.5. Mr. Overkill, how you get be 446.5? You leave out real numbers there, boy. And where's this one going to be? 3 and 5 and 5 and 10 and 17, 10 and 17. Yeah, 37. 37. So now, if I want to find the mean is always the sum of the f by the x divided by, did I say 37? 10 and 17 is 27. Why I say 37? 27. So the sum of f. So I have 698.5 divided by 27, and I'm cooking it around gas day. 698.5 divided by 27, and I have 25.9 approximately. Now watch this. If you had add up all of this and divide by 5, you'd get a really small number, and that cannot be the mean. You'd get a number like 4 or something. 4 could be the mean. Look at that, 11 people between the ages of 21 and 30. The mean had to be somewhere in here, right? Because that's where it seemed like the average handling itself somewhere there is the average. So this makes perfect sense that 25.9 is the mean. Now you know how, just now my camera following me. Stop that. So now you know how to find the mean of group data. We cooking. The exam wouldn't cook you. You cook the exam, right? So let's go back into this January paper and see what it is the one. See how they give it the midpoint here? That X bar. So X bar could either be the mean of what we have, or it could be the midpoint of the intervals themselves. So they work out the midpoint for real proper things. Look at your neighbor and say proper things. They leave out a couple midpoints, which we're going to organize just now. And they leave out a couple multiplications. Them real guiding. We hear they holding we hand. They holding we hand. Them in no way is seasoned professionals in this. We actually do a whole question in this 2 minutes ago. So what's the mean of the first one? 5.75. 5.75. Proper things. I see a pattern here. 9, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When it comes to patterns, I know my patterns, bro. When it comes to counting down, I could count down real, count up and count down real good. And then 5.75 multiplied by 29. So I'm looking at a 166.75 here. And I'm looking double check these things there right now. I'm burnt out. So this is 60.4. I'll again that. And 1x. Most likely they want, oh yeah, look at here, calculate an estimate. Always remember when you're doing this, this is an estimate because we don't have the actual values. We want the sum of fx, and we also want the sum of f. So the sum of f is usually found right here. You can add up all of this, but it is usually given one time. You can add it up and you can see you can get 120. That 120 newborns. Let's hope they wasn't born in Porters. Anyhow, so the sum of fx, we need to add up all of this. Tell me what you're going to get here. Plus 186.2 plus 166.75 plus 145.5 plus 71.1 plus 21.35 equal 651.3. So that's the sum of fx, and now we're going to estimate the mean. The mean is always over the sum of fx always over the sum of f. So this is going to be 651.3 divided by 120. 65. Make sure your answer makes sense in the end. Divided by 120. Don't get no baby weighing 200 kilograms and thing, and you write any paper. So 5.45 something like I mean. Yeah, that's something like I mean. 5.42 actually. 43. 5.43 to two decimal places, 3 significant figures, kilograms. Look how you're collecting 3 marks in the exam guaranteed. Look at that. And they're all bringing this. They're all bringing this in different form and fashion. So make sure you know how to do it, right? One newborn is chosen at random. They must train a probability question. You know, they love their little probabilities and things. Now, the newborn has a mass greater than 5.3 kilograms. So we need to go and look for 5.3. Look at here. So 5.3. All who greater than 5.3 say I. All who greater than 5.3 say I. You greater than 5.3. 29 or earlier is more than 5.3 to 6.2. 28 earlier greater as well because earlier over 6.2. So every man jack going down this way greater than 5.3. Yeah. So add them up. 29 and 8 is 37. So are you looking at that like about a 65? About a 65. So 65 newborns greater than 5.3 kilograms. Therefore, the probability is always the number of desired outcomes over the total, write this down, number of outcomes. My class in the student hub, you know, we do this like 400,000 times already. So the number of desired outcomes was 63 newborn babies that are over 5.3 kilograms. The total number is 120. Probability can be expressed as a percentage, a decimal, or a fraction. So you're basically done with your answer there. But let me just see if you could simplify or if you could give him a little decimal or something. So this is like equal to 0.525. Sorry, 65. Yeah. Nah, boy. I get them the exact. I get them the exact as they, boy. Going and give me a little recurrence. So let me say 13, 13 out of 24 is the probability. Probability can be expressed as a fraction or a decimal or a percentage. So you're good to go there. Now they want us to complete a frequency curve. Now, just remember this is January exam. Not a frequency curve, a cumulative frequency table. We know how to do these things. Oh, they coming from before. They coming from before. Ooh. I notice how they're just using the uppers. They just getting you the upper class boundary here too. Because that's all you really need for the all you really need for the cumulative frequency, you know. So 7, 25, 55. How these numbers coming into being by? Well, in case you don't know, cumulative frequencies work like this. Let me say you have some intervals here, right? 0 to 20, 21 to 40, 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, 81 to 100. Whoops, that are intervals there. And this is a frequency here. Let's say I had a 1, a 5, a 7, a 11, and a 2. So cumulative frequency is look like this. See if they get any symbol now. That's right, cumulative frequency. Don't put sum of fx there, cumulative frequency. So yeah, it's like you're adding on everything, you know. When you think of cumulative, where you thinking Veer is speaking facts, you go and find who is Veer. V next to S? Or you mean Sir is speaking facts? That what you meant? How to be mean Sir is speaking facts, because means you nobody named Veer. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 11 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. Veer? Veer Budu? It have a Veer here? I not seen him, boy. Veer? That real easy. Oh, look at me here. Veer. Veer, you find this easy, boy? So y'all understand what cumulative frequency is? It come like you're taking each number and you're adding it to the previous number. That way they say cumulative is like adding up. Right? That's not Bahamas, boy. This presentation college should go on us. That'd be funny if I rock back. My pool side just teaching all your maths normal thing. Right, so you don't need to get no sum of effects and thing here. This is the cumulative frequency. So let's go back to this 7, 25, 55. So when we reach here, we actually reach 55. The next one we need to add is the 29. 29 plus 55 is on how much? I'll help me out here now, boy. 55 plus 29, add up that 4, bring across the 1, 5, and all right, we get 84. 84 next. One next, I'll what come next? 84 plus 28. 84 plus 28. So 84 plus 28, 8 and 4, 12, bring across the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 12, 1, 1, 2. That looking good. Yeah, that looking good. One next. Then we have to add on 8. Yeah, and we can make the 120. There's a big hint here. Come on, keep your common sense commoning. You understand? You know, you must come back up to the total day. Like so much babies, you must get back your total cumulative frequency day. Do we need to plot a graph? Because, geez, man. Oh, yes, boy, we need to plot a graph. Don't die nothing. Well, we're not going to see me plot the graph. We's graph plotting professionals out here. So we're looking at the 5.3 and we see now 55. Let's just go back and look at it again. We're looking at the 3.5 and we see now 7. Nice. We're looking at the 4.4 and we see now 25. Nice. Good, 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 good. As I know someone you like to do this thing. That dot and the circle point. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I advise my students, I'll stop drawing them dot and circle things. Please use the X. Use the X. All right. So you're allowed to use the dot and circle on CX. You have any syllabus, you're allowed to use the dot and circle, but I don't like it. It's caused problems. So 5.3, 55. 5.3, 55, 5.3. What kind of awkward scale is this, boy? 4.5. Let me just see if you can decipher what's going on here. 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 4.95. Ah, it's a nice scale, man. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see right now my short-term memory. 5.3, 55. That's when I went out. 5.3, 55. Looking like about this. So good thing I could teach. If I had one brain cell left, I could still teach the whole CSEC Maths with my eye closed. 6.284. 6.284. No, I could really teach CSEC Maths. I'm a thing. 6.284. 6.284. 82, 84. Looking like about this. So wait, now I just make a mistake. That was supposed to be 55, the last one. Not supposed to be 55. Yeah, good. 100. 112. What is 7.1? 7.1 come up quite here. Wait, no, here. I missed out something? No, I didn't. 7.1. This is 7.1. 112, I see. 112, I see. And then we coming up to 8 with our 120. Hit them the 8ers and the 120 this. Bang. So I know some earlier have a little problems connecting this curve. I wish this was on paper so I could show them my skills. When it comes to connecting this curve, are very bad. Real good. Now, you need to cut through all the points. And you know my class, I didn't know what I tell you about this. I tell you about this curve already. So let me go and let me screenshot this and give you some not to do's. Because I'll be doing some real wildness on this community frequency curve. Wait, sir. Do not whip out your ruler. Where's my ruler? Turn on a ruler here. Do not whip out a ruler and draw a straight line here and then do so. Are you mad? Don't do that. The whole thing's supposed to be freehand. So you could probably get away with putting a little ruler here and kind of guiding yourself there. Because it's kind of be straight in the middle, most of these curves. Yeah. But it's not supposed to be looking obviously like you take a ruler and then you connect this like this. Don't do that. You're bringing shame upon the lineage if you do that. So you're supposed to do a curve. All I on a computer here, so it's fight me down. It's still coming out pretty good. If it was coming out bad, I'd blame the computer. But since it's coming out good, I'll blame my prowess. I will attribute that to my raw skill and talent. Alina no undo button, so try and get it good the first time. What we don't want to see is the chicken foot thing. Well, let's be doing so. Someone let's do that in a legitimate examiner. How you could bring shame upon the village and do this? How? Shame upon the village. So don't do that. You're not supposed to see where you connect the lines. Another thing not to do, if you see no point doing this, obviously this could kind of belly, so, and I don't need this point in the middle. Obviously, I know I had a game a little dippers here to come up there, right? I ain't gonna go straight to this point and then try and go figure out what happening at that point. I'd prepare. I'd think ahead. So you see a little dip there, so it moves smooth. Or if that top point was not up there, but instead here, and I need to draw a curve, well, I would dip this way. That makes perfect sense, right? So don't come and hit this line and then try and figure out what's going on there. What I'm saying is seeing that they're going and curve upwards, so get a little curve down there so you can curve up now. Don't try and meet this line straight and then curve here. That's what let's do. Just so. This is how it look. This is how it look with that kind of awkward curves. So I hope all you listen to all the advice I give you all here, and they look like stars in the exam. Use a diagram to find an estimate for the median mass, and you're going to finish. Well, the median had to be in the middle. So let you go back to the good diagram. Kind of a little shaky there, but we can live. So in the middle of 120 is 60. Now, the formula for finding median is actually n plus 1 divided by 2, where n is the number of items or like a sum of f, that kind of thing. So there are 120 items. So it's 120 plus 1 divided by 2, which is actually not 60, but 60.5. And the reason why it's really 60.5 accurately and not 60 is because, okay, there's a difference between middle and versus half. So if I give you 3 numbers and I told you the 3 numbers are 4, 11. These are 3 brothers. One is 4 years, one is 11, and one is 30. Me know the parents had a long pause or some kind of thing. I don't know. So 4, 11, and 30. Who is the middle? What's the age of the middle? Or the middle one is this one, right? Middle is 11. So if I ask you where's the middle, is actually number 2. There are 3 brothers though. 1, 2, 3. The middle of 3 is actually 2. But what is half of 3? Half of 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So in maths, middle and half is 2 different things. So if I told you the middle term is 120 divided by 2, I'll get 60, but that's not really the middle. To get the middle, you actually need to think like you're adding on 1 more to get to the middle. That's just how middle, and I didn't make the rules. That's just how middle is work. When you're getting it, you almost need to think like you're adding on 1 more to get to the middle. So if you have 3 terms, it's really n plus 1 divided by 2. The middle is found at the 3 items plus 1 divided by 2. It's found that the 4 divided by 2 is found at the second item. The middle is not 2, The middle is found in the second item. So like if I have 120 items, I add 1 divided by 2, the middle will be found at the 60.5th item approximately. So it's really 60.5, but on the graph, when you're really looking for no 60.5, so you kind of hit them a little smooth above 60, nothing to talk about, and you come across here. So this is a process I just call touch the road. You touch the road, The road is this, of course, and you come down. You can hum a little tune when you're singing. It's not too loud. You know the examiner hustle, yeah. Bang. And what you want to do is read off that number you see there. So it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, like 5. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get a little nice 5.5. The median, wait, what they ask for, the mean or the median? The median, and I'll get right next. So the median is 5.4 kg, and you're cooking it Ramco gas. So what y'all think? How are we looking? How are we looking? So this, they didn't go into quartiles and all kind of thing. They stop off at median, and they was like, you know your median, collect your marks and go your way. How y'all feel about that? Something else I wanted to say here. I just wanted to reiterate that this is the term. This is not the actual median itself. This is where the median is found. So don't just stop and say middle of 120, 60 or 60.5, that's the answer. No, you need to touch the road, come down, find your median. 8 out of 10, how much you understand that? 9 marks run your way there. So that was the end of the January statistics. Once again, that was easy. That's on the easier end of things, folks. If it come like this, we could dance on the grave. So hopefully you get a kind of easy setup like that. It touched the tough topics in an easy way. You understand? So let me do an example here. This is how CXC bringing it these days, where they actually giving you the cumulative frequency, or they giving you the whole cumulative frequency curve pre-drawn and asking you to reverse things and find it out, which requires some nice critical thinking skills. But anyhow, so they give you the cumulative frequencies is 80 there. So, it's 80 there. So, it add up to 80 in the end here. Determine the upper class boundary for class 21 to 40. What's the upper class boundary for the class 21 to 40? 21 to 40. What's the upper class boundary? Yeah, you use a pencil to draw the curve. You use a pencil to draw graphs. Make sure the pencil visible, right? The upper class boundary had to be 40. Someone is in 4. Wait. Oh, yeah, 40.5. Oh, shucks. So the UCB is equal to 40.5, or better written as 40 plus 41 over 2, which is 40.5. Remember the boundaries in between. Class, I remember people from the student about, remember the example I gave with class boundary. Let me give it again so you can soak in this now. But you in front of the TV, boom. Let me give you a big back TV. You know how long means a big back? So you in front of the TV, you there in front of the TV. Maybe you're playing game. You're playing game in front of the TV, back, dang. Yeah, your little PS, whatever, set up there. And you playing game merrily. You're losing, of course. the whole team had to be carrying you. Anyhow, but your father pass, who happened to be the not so strict one, he pass and say, hey, and your mother say go and study. If father walk past and see you playing that game and say, and your mother say go and study, boy, turn off that game, bro. And that is the limit. You reach the limit there. So you might reach the limit at what? They tell you to go and start, play no game around exam time, finish that by 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., go and study, whatever. But your mother, who is the stricter one, she paying for all the lessons and thing. She know she money in grown trees. She pass and see you playing that game still at 9:05. Well, things could get drastic in the house. That the boundary. Beyond the limit, you have a little buffer. But the boundary is the final. So if your mother catch you at 9:05 playing that game, she could take the game control, she could take the power cord, take your charger for your phone. What's the kind of punishment they do these days? Take the charger for your phone and thing, and take the charger for your phone. What else? Why? It's some other things. My parents used to take the plug for the TV when we played too much game. Yeah, no TV dog. They take the plug. So, and of course, licks, right? Licks. You get Ezekiel treatment. So, the same thing with statistics. Sometimes they give you what looks like the end here, but this is just the father talking. There's the boundary here. But beyond this, you have a little buffer, and that is the actual. This is the limit, but this is the boundary. So the limit is the first one, the boundary is the second one. So this is the upper class limit. But the upper class boundary is just the borderline between this and this. The lower class boundary of this class is also the same. So the upper class boundary of the previous class is the same as the lower class boundary of the next class. So like this will go up to 60.5. This one will start on 60.5 and go up to 80.5. I hope all you're catching everything I'm saying here. Right? So I'll never get your phone charger and thing locked down. Phone gets seized. All your parents is operated phone and thing. All your phone is behind the passwords and thing. And that was the I need that stage as a parent yet. The table below shows the cumulative frequency distribution of the weight of 80 there recorded by the zookeeper. Determine the upper class boundary for the we done do that already. Determine the class width. Oh, they're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. Determine the class width for 41 to 60. I's a big man. All right. Take the battery and charger for the laptop. Phone does get taken away. She just locked my phone in a safe. That's hilarious, bro. Determine the class width for the for the class 41 to 60. All you get it with? To get it with, you just need to minus not this and this. You actually need to minus the boundaries. So you need to minus 60.5 with 40.5. So 60.5 minus 40.5. If you minus this and this, you get 90. 19. But if you minus 60.5 and 40.5, so the class width right at down is the UCB minus the LCB. The upper class boundary minus the lower class boundary. So in this case, you will get the class width is 20, and this has a unit, 20 kilograms. This also has a unit. This was 40.5 kilograms. Because you ain't seen a unit here, bro. So they have a unit. How many there were recorded in the class 81 to 81 to 100? Answer part 3 really fast. Your father is going phone and you can't go to the line. How many, oh, tiny, zoom in a little bit. How many there were recorded in the class 81 to 100? Well, it's clear to see it's not 58. If you're thinking 58, you make a big boo-boo. It's not 58, my friend. This is cumulative frequency. Remember, you're adding on everything. So what's the real frequencies here? This is 2, this is 4. 4 from the 15 is 11. You understand what I'm doing here? Is making sense? Is this even making any sense? I think I make a mistake here. 4. It's supposed to be 6 from the 15 is 9. You understand? And then I need to see what was the difference here. So 15 minus the 36 is like again the individual parts. So they're really testing this idea a lot now. I could say that. They're really testing this idea. 36 minus 15 is what? What is that? Is that 21? And then from this one, I need 58 minus 36. So all you're telling me 22. Everybody, some people are saying 22 just now. 22. So the answer for this is 22. So it's like you need to unravel the things that you was adding on. Think about it. So this minus this would give me how much was there. Because I had I had to add this to all from before to get to here. All right, so a day was chosen at random from the 80 day. What is the probability that the weight of the day is more than 100.5 kg? Leave your answers exact value. Who is 100.5? Where 100.5 will land on? Right here, so 100.5. 100.5. Somebody want me to go over that part? Who want me to go over? Juliana? Juliana, that you there, girl? So let me see what happened in here. They really want testing out to see if you're understanding reverse. So you have some interval things here. I can ignore that for now. And then you have a frequency here 2, and then you may be at 7 here, and then you may be at 4 there. The cumulative frequency is like 2. You'll have 2 here, but then you'll add the 2 and 7, get 9. Add the 9 and 4 and get 13. Now, Juliana, are you paying attention, Juliana? Juliana, pay attention. I want you to think about what's going to happen here. If you didn't know, pretend how you would find out the F. Oh, she asked how I get the 22 in the first place. Oh, no, that's from before. That's from before. I explained how to get the 22. So pretend you didn't know this, Juliana. Juliana, lock back in, Juliana. Let me start over. So this is your frequency. I have 2 items here, 7 items there, 4 items there. Your cumulative frequency is you're adding everything. So you put like 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. I'm sorry, 9 plus 4 is 13. Yeah, so 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. Now pretend I didn't know what this was, or this was, or this was. Well, I know the first one have to be 2, right? And then how would I figure out what this is? I'd say 9 minus the 2 that I have there is 7. And 13 minus the 7. I think I messed up my numbers. What's my numbers? No, not 13 minus the 7. 13 minus the 9. 13 minus the 9, sorry. 13 minus the 9. Because it's actually 13 minus the 7 plus the 2. So 13 minus the 9 is 4. So you understand the backwards maths there? Who was talking to? Juliana? You understand the backwards maths? So that's what I'm doing. This is the cumulative frequency. I kept minusing to see what was the frequency from before. So between 81 to 100, it was really 58 minus the 36. So that's how I get the 22. So now I'm trying to see how many there are we coming up to look down this, and I'm going to show you some other styles that come in these statistics, pie chart and them kind of thing. A there was chosen at random for 80 from the 80 there. What is the probability that the weight is more than 100.5? So I want you all to find where 100.5 is. We already found it. It's here. That's the lower class boundary. So how many dare it have above this? That's my question. Well, I could do the minusing thing again here, right, Juliana? I could say the 73 minus the 58. I can get the 15 here. And then 7. So I have 7 and 15 is 22. Or I could have said 58 minus the 80 and still get the 22. So it's really 22 altogether here. Juliana, everybody, are they catch that? So it's 22 days above this weight. They are 22 days above that weight. So interesting. So now that we have 22 days, we know that they are 22 days above that weight. The probability of choosing a day more than 100.5 kg is, what was the formula I gave you all for probability? The probability is number of desired over total number of outcomes. So number of desired outcomes over total number of outcomes. This is like, how is the number of desired outcomes? How much you get just now? 22. Yeah, 22 over the total number of outcomes is 80. 22 divided by 80 is, somebody had that a long time ago, 27.5%, or you could put 0.275, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. Rate out of 10, how much you understand that? This was cumulative frequency without drawing any graphs. Very intriguing question. Oh, shucks, on a sheet of graph paper. I spoke too soon. On a sheet of graph paper, construct a cumulative frequency curve using the information provided in Part A. Ensure to label the axis, and then using the cumulative frequency curve, estimate the upper quartile. Oh, yeah, the draw graph. How many of y'all you're studying, you're really putting in the work, you watch my channel, you get inspired. All of a sudden you hit them out 8 hours one day, them out 4 hours one day, and then you come across graphs. And you're like, you ain't going and draw no graph. We ain't going and slow down. We studying rule and drawing graphs. So I remember I always say that, right? Don't skip the graphs when you're studying. Try and practice your graphs too. Don't let the exam be the first time you had to draw a graph. So I know that feeling. You're studying and you come across a graph and you're like, skip that, or you're like, I'm starting to stop right there. Practice your graphs. Don't let the exam be the first time you see the graph. So however, I am not going to draw that graph. let me say the thing that I always say. I done have my one in CSEC already, bro. I done have my one. I done have my one. In fact, I have a distinction. I have always in the profile, as they say. So we not drawing. No, I going and draw a graph. Nah, bro. On a sheet of graph paper, using the information, draw the graph. All right, let me do a little survey. All you want me to draw this graph? All you want me to draw this graph? Or you all understand the graph? You want me to go and draw the graph? They say yes, yes, way. All you wicked bad. Set a background little graph thing here. Now your graph don't look like your graph paper don't look like this for CXC here. Don't look like this at all. They give me a graph paper, the graph paper for CXC. Let me see if I could find out the graph paper so CXC would look like. Them say yes, yes, wicked. Let me see if I could find it. I have it here. Graph. Yeah, find it. There it is. That's how your graph. That's how your graph paper will look for CXC earlier, like this. See it? Do you see it? That's how your graph paper looks like for CXC. And each one of these blocks is 1 centimeter. So it's kind of hard for me to draw the graph without using. This is the last graph I draw in here. Maybe. I say that and end up drawing more. So I'm going to put this graph on Microsoft Whiteboard because I need to go up and down the graph, right? Watch the pro movements going and coming here. The pro movements. So I need to share my whole screen. I can't flex and not do anything. I'm going to copy this. We already knew this. Oh, I forget to show you one more thing. What's the marking scheme here? Accurate plotting of points, 1 mark. Smooth curve drawn, 1 mark. Include title and labeling the axis, 1 mark. Gain already behind the scenes 1 time. Bring back up whiteboard now. So we're going in. Are you ready to go in here? What some tips you all know in drawing graph? Tell the people some tips all you know now. Can't be me alone teaching this thing here. Some tips. Gosh, boy. Can't believe all you have me drawing graph this already. Big man like me drawing graphs. 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. What some tips are you know about drawing? Hey, Yang Su reach here? Yang Su was getting so much issues in the crash course. Yang Su start off. Yang Su, I thought you was going and come in the meet and greet. Add my security. No security line up. What some tips are you know about drawing graphs, boy? Create an appropriate scale for your values, right? Now I'm gonna tell a little street. Now they tell a little kind of fancy thing to draw scales and thing here. Telling earlier from the inception of time, I never use none of the formulas and thing they give a little drawing scales. Firstly, you need to find the upper class boundary if that wasn't given, right? Like you'll see in the example before, they start off with the upper class boundary. In this one, we have to get the upper class boundary. In case you don't know, in a cumulative frequency, this is what you're plotting. Upper class boundary versus cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency go here, and you're going to use the upper class boundaries here. That is the units D, right? Now, this was that as the weight of some kind of day. What it was? I forget what it was earlier. What it was, the weight of day or something. We can figure it out just now. But you understand that this needs to go up to 140. Or you watch this, I'm going to show you why it's do. You understand that this side here need to reach up to 140, and this side here need to reach up to 80. The rule is you can't draw no chunky graph for them. You can't draw a graph that finish right. They will immediately you're losing marks brisk. You're losing marks. So you need to draw a graph that kind of take up a lot of the graph paper. All right, everybody okay with that? Your graph need to come out so. Most of the time they draw cumulative frequencies come out so you get an S curve. And this is the name they give it, OGIVE. In case it wondering if you need to know that, yes, you need to know that. Write that down. This is the name to describe the shape of the curve. OGIVE. Up to this day, I don't know how to pronounce this word properly. I see a math teacher saying all kind of different things for this all over the world. So let me just go with. I'm not going to say nothing, yes? OGIVE, right? So, okay, finally, we need to plot the graph. 140. So what I do is, like I started use an arbitrary scale. I might say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. That worked perfectly. So I didn't need to bother to add up all of this and divide by this and find how much it's how once that weird rules. So it's kind of estimate out. What would have happened if I use a bad scale? Let me say I use 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, then go walk a half the scale. And I hit them the 10. Why is in the chat if you understand that? Very simple, right? You need to overthink it. By the way, another rule is, let me show you something. 30, 40, 10, 20, 30. You can't, this is 40 here. You can't be like, okay, well, I can skip that 40, day 50. I can put 60 day, 70, 80, 90. I can put 90 day. You must always put a dimension every 2 centimeters for the largest. Yeah, so you could skip like this. I could actually skip and do 20, 40. But if I go further than 2 centimeters, they will take away marks. It's all kind of weird rules, so look out for them. Or even if they take away marks, they're not supposed to do that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's bad business. 100, 120, and I'm a 140s day. 140s. I'll put my little dashes there. So the next one need to go up to well. What the next one going up to? So that's my x-axis. I hope all you drawing the graph too. It can't be me alone out here in the Caribbean drawing this graph. So this is my x-axis. Actually, was not supposed to write x-axis there. What am I doing? I'm supposed to write whatever that is there. The weight of the goat in kilograms. I'll figure it out just now. On this side, I'm going to write the cumulative frequency. So for sure, this is my cumulative frequency. And this is not frequency, but frequency. And this is, of course, a number of goats or whatever it was of, I really forget what it was, and I really want to know what it was. So let me just go back and see what it was. Goats. Why am I saying goats? There, it was there. It was there. And it was the weight of there. Right? That's the same question you want, right? The weight of there. Yeah. There. It was number of days. So you all see the units. So cumulative frequency is just number of whatever it is. And then this is the weight of there. And the units is kilograms. You understand how to draw a graph now? So now we're going up to now we're going up to 80. So I know I trying to make 80 reach somewhere there, at least in this section. I want my 80 to reach here. So maybe I can hit them the same 10, 20. No. I could already predict 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Too small. Too small. Too small. So I need to give them a little 10, 20. Give them a run, me say give them a run. Yeah. 10, 20, 30, 40. How are you feeling about this? you make me draw this graph, and so I hope all you are appreciating this and paying attention and thing. And I hope all you press like on the video and subscribe and whatnot. All right, I really do not need to go any further. And then you begin to draw. So if there's one thing I realize on YouTube, it's easy to focus when somebody drawing a graph, and like it's like a thing to watch, even like if you don't even understand what's going on. It's a thing to watch. You want to see the graph completed. I hope all you practice all your graph. Please don't let them practice the graph and don't just watch me draw the graph. So you're gonna plot 2 on 20.5. The 20.5 is the X and this is the Y. Remember, this is the X, right? 20.5, 20.5 and 2. 20.5 and 2 looks like about there. So no, it's 20.5. Some teachers are about to say something here that some teachers might not like. They still later call this one 0.5, call this one 20.5, 40.5, 60.5. I really don't like that. I don't like that. I understand, and it may not be wrong, but I just do like that. I don't know. No, I just do like that. I prefer to call the thing straight, and you just come a little bit off. So if there's 21, no, that's not 21. There's 30. So 21 is here. So 20.5 is just a little smudge off. It's just a little smudge off. So this is 20.52 it's supposed to be. And of course, 0.5 would be 0. Because you need to go down to the lowest here. 0.5 will be where it start off. That making sense? That making sense? And then 40.56. 40.56. I really need me to draw this way. It's feeling like I wasted my time here. 40.56. 6 is over here. The 6 is real. You might need a little better X's than that, yeah. 60.515. 60.515. 60.515. Boom, that X looking a little better. 80.536. 80.536. 35, 36, 80.5. Bang. 100.558. 100.550. Wait, did I? How you end up over there, bro? You can't do that in the exam. You can't use your mouse and drag a point. 100.558. 100.558. Right, we always expect a nice fat increase here. So 58 is about there. So 100.558. 120.573. Again, fed up now. 120.573. 73. You see, the problem I have with this is I had this in landscape mode now. Oh no, this in landscape mode now. If it was in portrait mode, it'd be easier for me to do. Back in the days, I used to turn my screen sideways and think, but no, I just don't have the energy for all of them things. But 120.573. 123. 107. 120.573. And the next one is 140.580, right? 140.580. Somewhere about this one we end up. We end up good. We end up good. So people, hey, I see all kind of thing on YouTube already, and nothing can beat some of the things I've said in the past. So I'm not worried. There was a time I was teaching biology. Back in the days, I used to teach real thing in bio, geo, IT, everything except like Spanish and business and French. And I was describing an organism, and I mixed up the word organism with another word. And that was a live before exam with more than 1,000 people in that live. So I actually make the error that I tell you not to make here. I kind of didn't predict for this well. So this was supposed to go more like that. Yeah, more like that. So, all right. Ollie, I hope Ollie entertained. I hope Ollie was thoroughly entertained. This is how you draw the graph, and you always give them a little title there. I always advise a title. How you do the title? You write graph of cumulative frequency versus weight of day. Anytime you're trying to just imagine all you hear the words I say there, right? I know I write it like real nonsense. But anytime you're trying to think of a title for a graph, don't overthink it. Graph of this versus that. That's where you come up with the title. And on this little piece of the graph here, this little section, you usually put the scale. If you have a little spot there, you can put the scale, but you don't want it to interfere. Remember, you just had to come across and draw lines and things. So yeah, the scale is easy. People is overthink the scale too. So hit them a scale one time, you write x-axis, and you put a colon like that. Then you write y-axis, and you put a colon like that. Don't overthink the scale. Here's how you do it. Remember, each one of these little blocks count for 1 centimeter. Well, see what's going on with our block now? What happening here with our block? How much in our block? A tenors. A tenors. So you're going to knit them 1 cm equal 10 kilograms. Simple like that. Put your units, Josh. Mr. ZM, Josh MZ. And then on the next one, we're going to knit them 1 centimeter is a fivers. 1 centimeter represent 5 what? Mangoes. 5, not goats, but theirs. That's how you draw a scale. That's how you draw a scale. And you're cooking with Ramco gas. Everything looking good about it except that little spot there, but I ain't really feeling to fix that up. So, and these X's was a little bootleg. But we looking good there. We collecting we marks. We have we 4 marks in the back. Where my next thing go on, boy? Just my calculator, they hold it down the fort. So let me see how the official graph look. This is how it look. My graph come out better. I hope Nalini not watching this. Weight of 10 kilograms, cumulative frequency. You can put number up there here for the title. She didn't put the scale as well, so I would put in the scale, but didn't really ask for the scale. And then we're about to talk about some quartiles business. Time to pay attention. Are you lock in? Type lock in there. Type lock in. Are you lock in? Time to pay attention. This is something that teachers do not teach for some reason. Quartiles. So I'm going to teach this from scratch. If you don't understand what quartiles is, rate your understanding of quartiles out of 10. I know somebody is 0 out of 10. Rate your understanding of quartiles out of 10. So quartiles, some of y'all maybe first time you hear the word, or you must hear it yesterday or something when I was talking about it. Quartiles, that's something you need to know. Look, it come up in the exam here. Estimate the upper quartile. What is that? Would you just leave that out in the exam? What is a quartile? What is a quartile? Have nothing to do with kitchens and bathroom surfaces. Quartiles, let me tell you. Let's say I give you some data, right? I'm giving you some random numbers. 3, 11, 15. What is the median here? What is the median? How do you find the median? How do you find the median, class? It have a little delay, so I'm waiting on you right now. What's the median? What's the median? 11. Some people adding up and dividing by 3, no? They don't add up and divide by 3 situation. Linear, better than that. That's mean. So the mean, I would find the sum and I'll divide by the 3. I never ask for the mean. Ask for the median. Median mean middle. So cross, boom, shot, by the median. By the median. All right, let me put some more numbers in the dance now. 3, 11, 15, 16, 20, 31, 31, 40, 41. Where's the median here? Where's the median here? What is the median here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the median here? Cross. Median is 20. What about if I had another number? Like maybe, let's train a number here, 7. What's the median now? What's the median? Cross, 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 cross. Remember, you're crossing in pairs, right? So what you going to do now? Cross, cross? Nah. You have to come now and say, well, it's just the two on your left, bro. So all you going to do for we, add them up, get 36, divide by 2, end up with 18. All you know about them? All you know about that, right? That's our next little trick there. But that's not what I want to talk about. Let me add in one more number. Let me train one more number. 2. What's the median now? What's the median now? Cross, 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 cross. Median is 16. Median is a primary school thing, eh? But if you know what people, let's get this wrong. 16. So this is the middle of the data. It ain't looking middle-ish because, but it is. 1, 2, hey, where the 2? Enter that in a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so add in a 2. So this is the middle of the data here. Are you agree? There's 5 on this side, and there's 5 items on this side. So this is the middle. Well, it turns out you can also go on to find the middle of the lower side of the data. So let's ignore that and find the middle of this lower half of the data then. What's the median here now? Ignore the median there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. That's the lower median. Woo! We cooking. We cooking. Are you feeling the fire there? And then you could go on to find the upper median then. There's nothing such as upper median. I'm just using this way to help you understand. Cross, 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 cross. Boom. What you really do, what we just do here is divide the data into 4 sections. Where you think we get the word quart from? Quarter. So this is quartiles. So it's not really called the lower median. It's actually called the lower quartile. This is still the median, or called the middle quartile. Oh gosh. And this is the upper quartile. If you understand that, right? I understand that. You understand? So these are what they mean when, this is what they mean when they're talking about quartiles. And it has some statistical purpose. So like if I tell you the middle age of the person in this class is 20. Well, you know, it have so much people above 20 and so much people under 20. There's 2 types of ranges that kind of get important in maths. There's something called just the range earlier. And then there's something called the interquartile range. That's his full name on the birth certificate, but out in the streets they call him the IQR. Right? But interquartile range and range, there's something called the range. The range is the highest minus the lowest. The highest minus the lowest is 41 minus 2. 41 minus 2. I need to dip just now. I have a physics class to come back on the live for just now. So, but stay locking. 41 minus 2 is 41 minus 2 is what? 41 minus 2 is 39. Woo! That was, I'll just skip this part of the video in the future. And the 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 interquartile range is actually Q3 minus Q1. Hold on, so you never tell me nothing about no Q3 and no Q1. What is that? Well, bro, lower quartile is called Q1, middle quartile or median is called Q2, and the upper quartile is called Q3. That the names out in the streets. So Q3 minus Q1 is the interquartile range. So watch what Q3 is 7. That's Q1, sorry. And Q3 is 31. So it's really 31 minus 7, which is some kind of number already, like a car minus right now. So I hope I get this one correct. 24. I'm hoping for the best here, right? Bring across the one and thing. Yeah, so 24. So 24, and by the way, this is kilogram. This is wherever the units was. I didn't give it any units. Whatever this was, years or kilograms or whatever. So hopefully you understand the principle behind quartiles. I pull back the curtain and show you what it really mean. I'll show you what it really mean, right? So let's go and check out how we would do it in the case of this cumulative frequency curve, the upper quartile. Well, okay, and one more thing to tell you. Stay lucky. We found the quartiles by finding the exact values. In statistics, we have to find the quartiles using a positional idea. Let me show you. Stay with me. This going on blow your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items, right? What was the median again? You all remember this formula from just now? I told you all this formula from just now. The median is the n plus 1, because I tell you the middle is work different. So it was 11 plus 1 divided by 2. It's the sixth term. Some of you missed that. It's 11 terms. If I find the middle of 11 is actually 6. So that formula, n plus 1 divided by 2, you must see it somewhere already. That formula tells us where the position of the median is. It's on the 6th item. And now I can use that formula. By the way, remember the median is called Q2. I have other formulas, you know. I have other formulas out here, formulas for Q1 and Q2. Q1 is n plus 1 divided by 4, or better written as a quarter of the n plus 1. Let's check it with our stuff. A quarter of the 11 plus 1 is a quarter of 12, which is 3. The third term, let's go and see if we were correct. 1, 2, 3. On the third term is Q1. I hope this is big things here. Q3, I already gave you Q2. That's Q2 up there. Q3 is actually 3/4 of n plus 1. And these are the formulas you need to memorize. So 3/4 of the 11 plus 1, 3/4 of the 12 is 9. The 9th term. Oh my gosh. So if you go back here and check the 9th term, we see 31. It's the maths, ladies and gentlemen. So now if you are faced with a question like this in the exam, find the upper quartile. Here's all you're going to hit them. Here's how you're going to collect the marks. Q3 is always 3/4. That the formula I just gave you is 3/4 of the n plus 1. Remember, this is going to tell you where it is. How many items we have with these days and thing by? How much? 80 days. So it's 3/4 of 80 plus 1, which is some number that I don't really care about. It's 60.75. 81 multiplied by 0.75 is 60.75. 60.75 term, or basically the 61st term. So what you have to do now is swing back to a beautiful graph. I don't know where my beautiful graph is. I know I draw a graph. This was the graph I draw. Where the graph I draw? This was it. Did I draw the whole graph? This was it. No, I draw a full graph just now. I removed the graph. I cannot believe I removed that graph after all that pain and sorrow I went through to draw that graph. I just casually removed that graph. Anyhow, I have my solutions here. So you're gonna swing back to your beautiful graph. And remember we got 60.75. This line too higher, this looking like this is 62, 64, 66, 68. This line too high. The linear in the life, this line need to come down a little bit. So 60.75, we're gonna be somewhere more like here, like that. You're gonna swing across. It's on the 60.75 term. So you swing across, touch the road there, touch the road situation, and you come down and you're gonna get somewhere around there. Maybe in your graph, you're supposed to get 104 or 102, somewhere around there, and that is your answer, ladies and gentlemen. So the upper quartile, therefore the upper quartile, aka Q3, this is where Q3 is formed, right? So you had the right term. The upper quartile is, oh, it was on the Microsoft whiteboard. I look into earlier, I tell earlier, I'm real tired. It was right here. I know I drew the graph somewhere. It was on whiteboard. Shame. So yeah, you come across from 60.75. This is 61, 62. So 60.75 is somewhere about here. So we'd have come across. They need to see these lines on your diagram. They need to see Zion, what you're doing, boy. Zion, you have to come and say hello. And you come down like that. Come and say hello. I'll just say hello to my middle son here. Zion. They probably want to see more of him. Check my Instagram. Zion, lock in. Bye. So you come down, bang, and this is 110. It look like about 104. It looking like about 104. So 104 kilograms is the way to go, right? 104 kilograms. And that's how you do this quartiles thing. I hope you all understand it. By the way, I left out one more idea. We talked about the interquartile range. The IQR, I tell you, IQR is his name in the sheet and it's Q3 minus Q1. There's something called the SIQR. Somebody in the chat will tell you about that. SIQR. So we don't have much more time, class. I just want to quickly watch at the other questions and see if I see something really nice to pull out for you all. This is a bar graph. I'm not going to talk about that real easy. This is a frequency polygon, also super easy. Did they bring anything out of this? Median. This had a median idea that was pretty complex-ish with a mean idea, so you have to do the FX as well. So those of y'all who have the questions, definitely check out that paragraph stuff, mean of the solutions here. Pie chart. So let's just touch on this pie chart. Pie chart has been very popular in the last 5 years after being on a hiatus. Do you understand how to do pie charts? Yes, the semi-interquartile range is half the IQR. You just take the IQR and simply divide it by 2. So the table below shows a survey. You have your vacation destination and the number of women want to go there. Which place in the world are they want to go to, boy? Suppose the data collected is to be represented on a pie chart. Determine the size of angle for the sector. This is just using a fraction idea. We just use a fraction idea. Fraction of how much degrees in a pie chart? Fraction of 360 degrees. Come on, man. So if you want to see how many want to go to London town, you will have 16 out of the 40 multiply by 360 degrees and you will get the angle. That making sense? On the diagram below with radius represent the data above. So there's always they like to start you off with a line. So what I would do is go ahead and find each angle. So this would be like 4 divided by 40 and 1/10 of 360 has to be 36 degrees. And this would be 36 times 4, which is 144 degrees. This would be 36 times 2, which is 72 degrees. And this one is 36 times 3, 108 degrees. Just make sure all of these add back up to give you 360. And then you're going to do, let's see if I can draw this really quick on whiteboard. Does whiteboard have a protractor? You all have been really faithful night after night, I must say. I'm really happy that you all are here keeping me company. And I hope it really are physics people who will come on in the next half an hour and keep me company as well. And it's now me teaching myself here. Protractor. Big up all yourself one time. Protractor PNG, maybe. Will be able to give me what I want. I want to pull out a protractor here, so just give me a little chance, copy that. I'll remember the numbers. So there's my protractor here. I want to show you all how to draw this, just in case this swing at you all. And what was the numbers? Let me see if I can just snap the numbers here. Bang. So I got the degrees. So I have my circle, I have my protractor. So what you want to do is come now and measure 36 degrees. So you're sticking this in the center, not the bottom of the protractor like this. If you know what students make this mistake, oh my gosh. If they bring this in the exam, like 20% of the students going and put the protractor like this, boy. Or it had to be the baseline on the protractor itself. It had to be that line that running the. So you're gonna put this line here 0 to 0. So it starts at 0. This thing snap into its own thing. Yes, let me go and put a little dot here, so maybe it might snap to the dot. I don't know why it's snapping to its own thing. Whatever, yes. So, and you're trying to get 36 coming this way. So what you're gonna do is look for 36. So let's see that you have 36 and you make a little dash there. Now, if I move the protractor, that going with it. But on your paper, you can stay right there, right? The dot will stay. Maybe I can kind of extend up and point an arrow there. Don't go right. So, and then you come in with your ruler afterwards, and you're going to join that. And you need to do that for each one of these sectors. Why is in the chat if you understand? Why just mean yes? They're not spamming only. I know some of these get vexed when people put on 1 star. Why just mean yes? So yeah, you have your 36 and you do it for the 144. You do it for the 108 and the 72. Where's my solutions? Where's my solutions? So you get the sector there, you get the sector for each, the angle for each, and then you draw 36, 144, and you get this. So this is what I'm really looking for in this type of question. The pie charts, then it may give you like little probability and stuff. And that's enough talk on statistics. I did the majority of the rough stuff on statistics. Y'all could go watch my videos on statistics. It's Kerwin Springer Statistics. I'll be coming back in at 9 p.m. I made a breakdown of everything that happened, the 4 developments that happened in CXC. I put it on TikTok, so you could always check out that if you have TikTok still. I might post it here. Might post it here on YouTube for those of you. Anybody look, if you look off TikTok, let me know. And then what other subject you all want me to do? Maybe I can do something with chem. What other subject is like a really high demand subject? It has to be something that not this week, so I could get time to get the teacher. I could call any teacher from the student up to come and do some stuff with me. Add maths. Well, I teach you add maths, so add maths. Chem and add maths is the chem, add maths, bio, POB, geography. Chem, add maths, bio, PO, geography. So I'll try and get those teachers. When is geo? Econ, we do have EET at the student hub. So I'll try and get those teachers in organic chem. Yeah, we'll try and get the chem. I see a lot of chem. So seem like I'll lock off the TikTok, so yeah, you could go and check. You could go and check it and go and follow me on TikTok there, yeah, to keep updated. I used to use Instagram all the time, but Instagram will have more pictures of Zion. If you go and watch my Instagram, you'll see more family stuff on it now. My TikTok is where I keep all the action now, all the study and stuff. So those of y'all who will be going and doing CAPE, the Student Hub is the best school for online lessons. That's what I started in 2020. And we just getting better and better every year. And we have great students from all over the Caribbean, Jamaica, great teachers, Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad, St. Lucia, and different subject areas. So you can always lock in with that. For CAPE, you can just search it up online. Some of you all may have seen it online already. OA, English tips. So we're trying to get some teachers to come in tomorrow. Please, God, I think I'll do 2 sessions with the maths. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Wednesday. I might hit them a double session tomorrow. So in a long session tomorrow. The reason why I hit them a double session is because on Thursday, I might do a late session. So we let them a doubles tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing measurement. I hope all you're ready for that, all ready for the long session. We're doing measurement and series and sequences. Series and sequences. So a double session tomorrow. And Thursday we're doing a late session. It may be a double as well. Relations, functions, graphs, coordinate geometry, and maybe circle geometry. It might be real pace on Thursday because we're coming down to exam. Wednesday, I may do another session of physics as well, late night. So that might be a 10. And on Friday, I will see if I could come in with the chem. I'll try to get our chem teacher to come in and join me with the chem. So we'll do maths, chem, and if I could get another subject in, maybe the geo that you'll ask for, we'll try to get that in. So a lot of free sessions, but of course the student hub is for paid premium classes. That's where most of our students who you see here from. So enough talk. I think enough talk. Love and blessings, Ali. Keep the studying up. I hope this is motivating you to get on board. The day before mathematics, there's a 12-hour crash course in the student hub. Somebody asked about that. What about the day before maths? There's a 12-hour crash course in the student hub. That's on the Sunday. The timing for that is about 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on the Sunday. Before maths, or 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., depending on where you're at. And what else I could tell you about this boy? This is 300 TT, 300 TTD. If you're from Jamaica, that's 7,000 Jamaican dollars. And your WhatsApp, the student hub. Those of you who want to join any of our crash courses or find out about the student hub, 1-868-310-1306. And I'll be pouring out myself in this session. Me and Miss Nalini will be handling this, and we'll be going through every topic again. So it's like a last revision up to the exam. So if you want to join us, feel free to WhatsApp this number, +1-868-310-1306, and they will sign you up. You can pay through PayPal, bank transfer Trinidad, Jamaica, wire transfer Guyana. We pay anything. Excuse me. So yeah, enough talk. I'll go and check out the TikTok video. Love and blessings. Enjoy.